everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode of Legion we will be talking about Torch. As always, there is a couple things we need to get into before we talk about this song. First off, Black Veil Brides is finishing up their European shows and UK tour here shortly. There's been a lot of cool content, and seeing the videos and photos from the shows as well as the festivals is so amazing. Some of the crowds that you see at the festivals are massive. The Download Festival that they had in the UK was huge. There's a couple of interviews out with Jake and Jenks and Andy, so you can check those out. I will have a few of those linked in the description below for you guys to check out if you haven't already. Also, the US Fall Tour is coming up here shortly too. Has been announcements about another leg, I guess, of European UK shows that'll be in the winter, so that's really exciting. They're really going all out for this. I was hoping that maybe they would do Canadian shows, but that is okay. Maybe that'll be a thing for next year in 2027, but only time will tell. Also, Black Veil Brides did drop that new merch. It is still available. I'm currently wearing a pair of the sweatpants. I highly recommend getting the joggers. They're super comfortable, and designs on them are super cool, so go get them if you haven't already. Black Veil Brides Bleeders palette from CurstKosmetics has been restocked. There's been pre-orders. Last time I looked, it is still available. If you haven't gotten it, I suggest getting it. It is probably one of my favorite palettes and makeup collections that I have had so far over the years, and the pigmentation on the eyeshadows are just amazing, and of course the lipstick color is just iconic in it of itself. So one thing that was announced today, I believe, as of me filming this, Pause Studio had announced that they are going to be dropping some signed photos from Certainty and Bleeders, and that will be available June 30th. I have signed up for the newsletter and announcements for that, so I will have that also linked for you guys. I believe that will be coming up here very shortly. I think this is going to happen before the episode is dropped, unfortunately, but hopefully by then it'll still be available. I think there's previews on their website of what the prices are going to be like, so if I can swing it for this next paycheck, I may pick up something, but we'll see. So like I said at the beginning of the video, Torch is what we'll be discussing today. This is probably one of my favorite music videos. It's up there from this era, so I think mostly because I loved the suits. I am currently wearing part of Lonnie's Torch suit. I was fortunate enough to get it. I've only worn this a couple of times, so I wore it once for the Torch flute cover that I had done with Victoria, and then the other time was when Black Veil Brides had done their Bleeders tour. I wore it to the Green Bay show, and I have not worn it since. So I figured since we were discussing Torch, now would be a good time to wear at least the vest. This song was released August 12th of 2021. I think this was a good kickoff. It kind of gave me, at that point when it's August, kind of, my mind is already on like Halloween and fall, so I felt like this dropping kind of in August, dropping in August was kind of a good way to usher in the fall and everything like that. It really gave, in my opinion, I think it gives fall vibes. Maybe it's just because of the way that the song is structured and the kind of tone and mood that is set with this. But let me know what you guys think. So the music video was directed by Andy, and then the cinematography was done by Patrick. They have worked with Patrick plenty of times over the years. As we know, he was the one that had filmed Knives and Pens, so the band's history with Patrick Fogarty goes back so far, since basically the beginning, and I think that's amazing. I love to see them work with him again. And the music video location was at a cemetery in LA. I do love the filming style of this music video, and of course the storyline that goes along with it. We get Nine and Blackbird again. They were building up the storyline for this one. Anyway, the song itself is about finding hope when it feels like everything is lost, while also seeking truth and breaking free from destructive mindsets. And we can see how this song is another puzzle piece into the storyline of Blackbird 9 and the Scarlet Cross, as well as the album's overarching theme, which we have touched on in previous episodes when we discussed Scarlet Cross, Crimson Skies, and Fields of Bone. This song and the music video were the fourth off of this record. The song itself is like a call to people to become their own hero, so taking control of their own narrative, even though facing reality can be difficult, and it can be very liberating and lead to better outcomes. So in my life, I feel like when this album came on, in my life when this song had come out, I felt like I could relate to it a little bit. I was kind of going through some things, and kind of having that message helped with me realizing like, hey, you need to face some things. Even though it can be hard, I get it. It's hard to face things, especially when it's something that you have been dealing with and putting off for so many years and neglecting that, and it can be scary, but after you go through it and kind of restructure things, you can become a better person, become so much stronger out of it. So this song did kind of speak to me in that way. The mood of this song feels kind of somber and gothic-y, moody, I would say, which makes sense for the storyline and music video, as well as the meaning of this song and the storyline of the album. So there weren't too many articles out there about Torch. I think maybe it's just because when it came out, there were things going on, but I do remember when I had done my research for Scarlet Cross, it seemed like there was a lot out there. And of course, most of the stuff that did come up when I was looking for articles about this song were more so about the album itself, which we will discuss at a later date. One of the quotes from the article that I found from Keurig: Torch shines its light on the post-truth era, and the whole narrative explores the way celebrities, politicians, and public figures become mythologicalized on all sides of the political spectrum. So we see with any kind of political spectrum and things going on in the world, that a lot of misinformation and things get really, really heated really quick, and it can be very stressful as someone who is an observer. So with this song, we can apply that in the sense that we see these things going on. It's hard to face the reality of it. There are things that we cannot control, unfortunately, but there are things in our lives that we can control, and finding control within our own lives to better ourselves, regardless of the situation that's going on, can be very liberating. We can become stronger, and hopefully in our own lives we can change and become an inspiration, not just for ourselves, but for, our friends, our family, even other people that we have in our lives. And yeah, I think this could also apply to other aspects of our lives. So however that song or songs speak to you, roll with it. I feel like a lot of Black Veil Brides' songs are meant to be that way. So even though there is this very clear-cut meaning of the song is, you can apply that to your life and make it into your own. And I find that very, very special. I feel like a lot of songs out there, especially popular songs, we can't really take to heart. I just saw this video the other day. This girl was talking about how a lot of female pop artists, they'll just talk about or sing about the same 4 things, and it's extremely boring. And I can agree with that, because I don't really listen to pop music anymore, but when I did notice that a lot of female artists and other artists in general, they always end up talking about breakups, love, shaking their ass in the club, stuff like that, and it just did not interest me at all. And so finding music that has a little bit more of a deeper meaning and things that you can connect to goes a lot further than talking about some breakup or some love song or something that's so broad and bland. Having songs like Torch, Scarlet Cross, Crimson Skies, Cut, the list goes on for Black Veil Brides. It can go a long way, and I think that's maybe that's part of the reason why so many of us connect with the band, because there's so many songs that we can apply to our lives. We connect to a lot on a deeper level than compared to like a Taylor Swift song. So another thing I want to add is a lot of the photos that we got during this era were from Joshua Schultz, and as we know, the band has worked with him many times over the years, so I will insert some of the pictures from Joshua. I loved his work in this era. I liked the contrast that he had with these photos. I will admit I have a lot of these photos saved in my phone permanently because I just love them so much. With the song, we get a little bit more, we get some incorporation of Jinx's violin into this, and I love it so much. I think that also ties very well into the mood that the band was setting with the song, as well as the theme that we get for the music video, which is supposed to be like a funeral. We have the guys carrying Blackbird's casket, and they're wearing these iconic red suits. The funeral, of course, is for Blackbird because we had left off with Crimson Skies and it was a bloodbath and all that. The casket itself that the band is carrying does have a Scarlet Cross on it. The priest walking behind them with the skulls swinging back and forth, like the Catholic priests do with incense. The priest, which I didn't catch this initially when this music video came out, I didn't catch this initially, but I had been talking with Ruth and Nicole and a couple of other my friends, because, of course, we're like, oh my god, Black Veil Brides released a new music video, there's going to be Easter eggs. I didn't catch this initially. I can't remember if it was Ruth or Aaron or Nicole, but one of my friends pointed out that on the priest's outfit, it has the 9 in tally marks, and I had to go back and rewatch it, and I was like, oh my god, you're right. So with a lot of Black Veil Brides' music videos, we do end up, especially with this era, we got a lot of Easter eggs, and at times it felt like I was losing my mind because I would go back and would watch the music videos and try and catch more Easter eggs, and oftentimes I would find things that I didn't notice before, and I love that. I love that Black Veil Brides does that. I also love that they have so many like small and intricate details that we don't notice initially. So having something that's so artistic that you have to go back and rewatch, even watching it in like slow-mo and find all these things that you missed. It really shows you the attention to detail that Black Veil Brides has when it comes to not just the music videos, but the songs, as well as when they go on tour. Like, everything is just so put together, and you can kind of see how the band works in that way. During this funeral, each member is placing things into the casket. Jake places a dagger in Blackbird's casket. Jinx places more roses. Lonnie also places roses. Cece puts a Red Cross necklace. I believe this was also another necklace that was from Never Take It Off. Andy doesn't place anything, but he's the one that is at the casket. He's singing, and we get a few shots of the TNT in the mausoleum. I think it's a mausoleum. Or is it like a tomb type thing? Getting those shots, you're like, okay, what's gonna happen next? But then, kind of towards the end, we get a shot of the priest, which is 9, and he puts on the mask, and we're all like, oh my god. And he pulls out his phone and detonates the TNT just as Blackbird is emerging from the casket. And of course, the music video leaves us on the edge, and we didn't really get anything past that. Born Again didn't really follow the storyline at all when it came to this. So just by watching the music video alone, we don't know what happened to Blackbird. Black Veil Brides always puts their heart and their soul into things, and it really shines through, especially with concept records and music videos. and everything that they do. So that's all I had for Torch. Let me know what you guys thought when you initially watched the music video, listened to the song. Kind of what were your initial reactions? I know we did gain quite a few newer fans during this era, and it was kind of cool at the time to see how we got so many new fans coming in and learning and connecting with some of the older fans. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're following me on all my social medias. I have some commissions open for custom boots. I have those Set the World on Fire custom boots still available, as well as those Andy Black collaborative boots that I did with Elaine. Those will be available up until about September, first part of September. I will be putting my Etsy shop on freeze for about a month, since I will be getting married in the fall, so I need a little bit of a break from my business and art stuff to focus a little bit more on some other creative projects that I have going on, as well as my wedding, of course. Also, if you follow me on Instagram and on my TikTok, you would have seen the announcement about a merch design collaboration that I did with Ryan Ridley of Until I Wake. Those are available. There will be, I believe it ends on the 28th, so it'll be before this video drops, but there will be a second thing coming out in July. Make sure you're following me on my social medias for that, because that will be announced, things will come out, and things will be hinted. There will be a Halloween drop coming shortly. I want to say end of July is what I'm aiming for. So I will be having a Halloween card that I designed, keychains and stickers, and then I am planning between now and then to add some more original drawings and prints up. So that is all that I have. There will be more flute covers coming out shortly. I will be putting those out soon. I've been kind of slacking on that just because things have gotten super busy and I've had some family things going on, personal things going on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Stay rad.